I am looking forward to starting over. I'm thankful to the judge who heard the evidence and cleared my name.
Today, the Navy sailor accused of setting fire to the USS Bonhomme Richard says he is ready to move on with his life after a judge announced a not guilty verdict in the trial against him. It's the first time we are hearing from 21-year-old Seaman Recruit Ryan Mays. Good afternoon. Welcome to The 4. I'm Heather Myers.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. If he had been found guilty, Mays could have spent the rest of his life behind bars. Instead, this afternoon, he's a free man.
CBS 8's Kelly Hessedal was in the courtroom when that verdict was read. She joins us live from outside Naval Base San Diego with what else he had to say. Kelly.
Well, that's right. You know, and I watched Seaman Recruit Ryan Mays throughout this trial, and he was always very serious. He didn't show much emotion, but after that verdict was read, it was like the floodgates opened. He started sobbing. He directly went into the gallery area, straight to his wife. They started hugging. They were crying. A short time later, he spoke to reporters for the first time. Here's some of what he said.
I am so grateful that this is finally over. It's been a long 2 years. I've been waiting a long time. I could say that the past 2 years have been the hardest 2 years of my entire life as a young man. I've lost time with friends, I've lost friends, I've lost time with family, and my entire Navy career was ruined.
And so Seaman Recruit Mays did not take any questions from reporters. I did manage to ask him what he was feeling when that verdict was read, and he said, "I feel great, thank you." He walked back into the courthouse with his defense team behind him, then his parents, his mom. She has reddish hair. It was up in a bun. They have been here every day in court, sitting together in the row right ahead of me. And as you heard Mays say, the past 2 years have been hard on all of them. Now, Mays was found not guilty of willful hazarding of a vessel and aggravated arson. The judge spent less than a day reaching his decision and concluded the government did not prove its case, that there wasn't enough evidence for a conviction. Now, one big issue they had was their star witness's credibility. His story had changed several times when talking to investigators. There was also zero direct evidence linking Mays to this crime. It was all circumstantial. Now, we've been talking with Gary Barthel throughout this trial. He's Mays' former defense attorney, and today I asked him what he thinks will happen next with this case.
If history is any lesson, the Navy has, in the past, had a hard time acknowledging responsibility for something. I do not anticipate that the Navy will come back and make a conclusion that this was an undetermined cause for the fire. I think the Navy will probably hang on to the belief that this was an arson.
But he says it's unlikely that the Navy will bring charges against anyone else, because then they would be admitting that they had the wrong guy. Now, keep in mind, the Navy's position is still that Ryan Mays set this fire. A not guilty verdict does not mean he's innocent. It just means that the government did not prove its case. Carlo and Heather?
Well, that begs the question, though, Kelly, what will happen to him now? Do we know if he will remain in the Navy?
Well, that's one thing we're all wondering, and we just don't know. Ryan Mays still has at least another year left in the Navy. It's possible he could do an administrative separation. We just don't know, since he wouldn't take any questions from reporters. I will say, though, it's pretty likely that this case will follow him for the rest of his life, that his name will always be linked with the USS Bonhomme Richard fire.
For tonight, though, he can be grateful that he is out of legal jeopardy with the Navy. Kelly Hessedal reporting live for us. Thanks, Kelly.